Hey there people, it's Fresh Mark sent another fresh review, aka Zest for Life. Today I'm just going to share with you a couple of feel-good fragrances. That means that whatever mood you're in, it would either revitalize you, it would calm you and give you some good memories of another good time, or just have a nice woody base, so it has a sort of reassuring sort of feel of masculine undertone that would be basically good for everyday wearing out, and would also have a nice leather tone or something to it. I don't want to ruin it by telling you what notes are in the next perfumes, but I'm going to go straight into it with something you've already heard of a little bit before, and I was alluding to, with the masculine leather note in it, along with fruity notes as a mixed note. Rockwise by Manceuria. Now this is a powerhouse fragrance. It lasts for about 9 hours on the skin and about 7 hours projection. With the first 3 hours projection being very fruity, bold, more of a black leather, which is quite raspy. Some people find it quite ashy with the wrong chemistry, but it's sort of black leather with, let me spray it one more time. It's supposed to be like Creed Aventus, but it's got orange, pineapple, nice bit of patchouli woods and broxin to keep it creamy, sweet and fresh, with the jasmine, so it's not too dragged down with the leather. It's not animalic or anything too much, but it does have a nice raspy, woodsy, leathery touch with the mixed fruit note, which is mainly an accord of a mandarin orange, then pineapple, and then you get some zesty grapefruit, lemon, and slight bit of apple and peach as well. Peach and white musk is sort of like a tertiary note, like sort of like a third layer, but it is there throughout. So definitely check out Rockwise by Manceuria Eau de Parfum. This is actually going for less nowadays because the Intensely version has come out. It has checked both side by side, but my review on it, I think, in short, is that this is probably about 85% similar, and you don't really need to go out to buy the Intensely, because although that is slightly brighter in the citrus note, I find it's a little bit acrid and too lemony for the first 3 hours, whereas this is rounded and juicy with the fruity notes, yet it has a resounding woody and rounding masculine black leather note, which keeps the orange realistically fruity, so it feels like there's a zest of the orange and the juice and fruit of the orange. Otherwise it would just smell like lemon and oranges, and the slight oud note, which is more of a woodsy perfume, the Intensely. So this is more of a rounded, versatile perfume. Definitely check out Rockwise if you want a versatile summer perfume and not really smell like Creed Aventus, because it goes in its own direction. Eau de Parfum, I just had to choose this because I've almost gone through the whole bottle, as a 150ml bottle, because its fruity notes in the top, the pineapple and the blood orange, are interesting. Despite all the other blue fragrances are out there, I keep on coming back for this one because this is interesting, resoundingly fruity, it lasts for a long time, and yet it has those green notes and dark woodsy notes, which is ebony wood and patchouli, to keep it masculine, fresh, and a general it's great for everyday wear, especially in summer. So Eau de Parfum is the next one in the list. Another one for summer is Cerruti Image pour Homme. This is a tropical perfume, so it has a lot of unusual notes. That's why I chose it for the list, because you may have not heard of it before. It has banana, it has banana leaf, correct me if I'm wrong, plum, aquatic notes, and a general fruity note that smells a little bit like tutti frutti with aquatic notes. So it's like a fresh, juicy, tutti frutti aquatic with a slight green and aquatic touch to it, let's say. So it's great for summer. It lasts about 1.5 to 2 hours projection and 5 hours on the skin, so I don't really have a problem with that. But it's definitely in the feel good section because it reminds me of like a tropical holiday or something like that without having coconut, which is in a lot of perfumes right now. So just recommending something a little bit different. Next, in the fruity section, but something that is a little bit green fresh and has the note of narcissus in it, Lacoste Louis Pour French Panache. Now this has bergamot in the top note, a little bit of lavender, but the star of this perfume is its red apples, which keeps it rounded, sweet, natural and juicy in a fresh way, mixing with the narcissus, which is actually a bitter green white floral. So you have a bitter green aspect and an uplifting white floral aspect, which is slightly sweet at the same time, but in a very natural way. So this is naturally sweet, uplifting in a fresh and juicy, fruity way, with the red apples and slight lavender combination, which is powdery and fresh. Definitely, this is great for everyday wear. But what I really like about it is that red apple note. Next one is something more zingy fresh, another interesting contrasting combination, which is Lacoste Lahom Timeless. I actually gave away the intense because it has a sort of dark and dingy atmosphere about it. It reminds me of a cloudy, rainy day because it has a lot of cashmere wood. But this opens up with mandarin orange and raspberry. So the clash of mandarin orange, bergamot and raspberry is something that you don't come across a lot in men's perfume. Raspberry done very well. Let me know in the comments section if you know any other raspberry fragrances that are wearable for most men. I believe this is very wearable because the bergamot is fresh. It's very bright, slightly tangy, and that's why it's such a great contrast to the acidic, citric and fruity contrast of raspberry. So in the mid you get some jasmine, which is a sweet white floral, quite similar to the French Panache, but this is more of a fruity zingy contrast, and this is more green fresh and everyday. So in the base of this now, after the jasmine, you get the cashmere wood and a bit of akigala wood, which is a synthetic note of patchouli and alga wood. Alga wood is a oud note, and patchouli is a light, sweet, woody fragrance. So that is all for this one, but I think that it's worth checking out for the price of £17.50 for 50ml, because that is a great price. Another one that is slightly less fruity but nonetheless reminds me of a good summer day, and that's why I put it in the feel good fragrance section. It reminds me of a picnic on a sunny day. Unfortunately, I feel like it's going to rain soon on this balcony, but this reminds me of a warm sunny day picnic. Guerlain Ideal Lahom Lahom Ideal by Guerlain is slightly camphoriously fresh with the citrus note on top. It has a mixed citrus note, and then it has orange blossom in the mid. And what keeps this very soft and warm is like a cashmere note wood in the base and some orange blossom. The citrus notes on the top, they are resounding all the way to the mid, and what you're left with in the base is some creamy sandalwood. So this is a very warm citrus fragrance that reminds me of almost like a woolen or cashmere jumper in the sun. Not too stuffy, but very bright, airy, and a soft sandalwood fragrance. Gourlane Ideal Lahom EDT. Actually, the EDP has almond in it, and I feel that the marzipan kind of flavor doesn't really add to the freshness. I think it takes away from the freshness. And the final one from this list, last but not least, is Dolce Gabbana Velvet Oriental Musk. Now this is well, some people say it's discontinued nowadays, but I feel that it's probably just out of stock. This opens with a nice cardamom note and cardamom saffron, and mixing with Nagamotha wood, which is a wood that is actually used in K eau de parfum. This gets a sour, musky, fresh contrast with the aromatic cardamom, the sweetness of the saffron, and the cool, breezy feel of the musk. So definitely check this one out in. I believe they're selling it or giving testers in Harrods and Selfridges. Check it out if you're interested in the Dolce Gabbana Velvet line. There's lots to test out there. Stay free and stay fresh.